What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here from No Shelf Space, and today I'm going to show you how to play Spellbook from Space Cowboys and Phil Walker Harding. This game should take about 45 minutes. It's for 1 to 4 players, and the suggested age is 12 plus. In Spellbook, you will be drawing runes from the bag, perhaps taking runes from the altar, in order to make spells, and these spells will give you different powers depending on when you play them, when you do them, and the different aspects of the game. To set up, give each player 7 spells, and you can mix and match the spells. It comes with level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm using all of the level 1 spells here, and I actually suggest that you orient them in a very specific way. As you can see, there are icons in the top corner of some of the spells, if it's going to focus. And what you want to do is maybe set them up so that these morning spells, like this, are first in row, and then your afternoon spells with the full sun, then your evening spells with the moon, just like that, and then any instant power spells like this one here. You'll also take the bag of runes to start the game, and you will draw out 5 randomly from the bag and place them on the central board. And now you are ready to play. There are 3 phases in Spellbook. There is the morning phase, the afternoon phase, and the evening phase. I do believe it's called morning, midday, instead of afternoon. I think it's morning, midday, and evening. And during each phase, you can do exactly 1 action. Now, when the game first starts, you won't have any spells, so these morning, midday, and evening abilities will not be available to you yet. So, every morning, you are going to be selecting new runes. So, at the beginning of the game, you have 2 options. You can either take 1 rune from the central board here that both players will have access to, or you can draw 2 from the bag. And in most cases, you're going to be starting the game by drawing 2 from the bag. And here we go. On this turn, I drew a black and a yellow. During the midday, you have the option of taking one of those runes and actually storing it on your player board. Now, the reason why you would want to do this is maybe putting a rune on here that you're not going to need later in the game. And the more you put on here as the game progresses, the more points you're going to earn at the end of the game to a maximum of 18. So I've drawn these 2 tiles for reference for the start of my turn. And what I'm going to do is I'll take, I think, this black one, because I've played and I understand that that black power is good later in the game, but not right now. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to simply put it there. And that is my midday action. Now, the evening action, if you don't have one of these, you can either learn a spell or you can end your turn. To learn a spell, you simply have to have the required number of runes of this color, of the spell color, in order to place a token. So, if later in the game, maybe in front of me, I had these tokens here, although you can only have a maximum of 9, so this would not be accurate. But if I had these 3 green runes right here, I could actually take this card and I could choose to learn a spell. Now, you can see the cost of the spell based on the number of circle symbols here. So to learn the lowest level spell, it's going to cost you 3. The middle spell is going to cost you 4. The top spell is going to cost you 6. I have 3, so I'll return 2 to the discard bowl. And I will put 1 on there, so I have a level 1 green spell. Now the thing is that you can only learn each spell once. So if I learn this at a level 1, I cannot later use green tokens to make it a level 2 or a level 3. Although, as you can see, this card right here will allow me to actually upgrade one of my spells by discarding a specific type of rune. So I did that. So let's look at the anatomy of a card again. Top corner here will tell you if it has a special time where you can use an ability. In this case, this is an evening ability. Down here, it will tell you what ability you can use based on the level of your spell. Now, if you build the level 3 spell, you can also use on your turn the spells below it instead of this top one. So ideally, you're going to be doing the top spell on any of these cards. So here, for example, if I were to build this level 3 spell with purple, I could take 2 of those from the central board, or I could take 2 of those from the central board, or I could take 2 of those from the central board, as my morning action instead of drawing 2 from the bag or just 1 from the altar. And that's the central board that I'm calling a central board, but it is an altar. That is that. And then the final thing to look at on the cards is this value right here. And that's how many points it's going to be worth at the end of the game. So if you built a level 3 red spell, that's worth 3 points at the end of the game. Turns will continue around and around the table with people taking turns. At the end of your turn, you're going to be taking 1 token from the bag, and if there are 5 on here, you'll be filling it up and putting on a 6th, a 7th, an 8th. If this ever gets full, you dump them all out and add 5 new ones to the board. As the game goes on, you'll get better spells, and your spells will allow you to do different things. There are spells that allow you to swap tiles in front of you with tiles from the board, which might be beneficial. There are tiles that allow you to instantly do things, and this is one that does not have a morning, midday, or evening action here. It's an instant. So the second you do this, you can draw 3, draw 2, draw 4, depending on what level you build that at. This one here, for example, will allow you to store up to 2, 3, or 4 of the same color runes on this board, which will be very beneficial later in the game as you're trying to fill it up as much as possible to score as many points as possible. Play will continue until at least one player finishes all 7 of their spells or fills up the entirety of their board here with stored tiles, after which you'll score points and see who the winner is. There are an equal number of turns, so don't forget to do that. You'll score points for as high as you get here, and it's always the next number. So if I had 12 things stored, I would score 13 points. Then you score points for each of your different spells, and whoever has the most points wins the game. All right, guys, that is how you play Spellbook from Space Cowboys and Phil Walker Harding. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. There's also an unboxing of the video. You're probably going to be able to see that right here or right there. Hope you check that out as well. But until next time, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again real soon. Goodbye.